everyone, welcome to my completed pages video for May 2023. I have written out all the pictures that I've done. It's quite a lot. There are 117 this month. I don't know if that's a record, I think it could be, and across 46 different books. So and I finished a few books this month as well, so I was sort of beavering away trying to get books finished, which was really good. I love finishing books. But we're going to start with not on books I finished. I actually start with Hannah Carlson. I'm going to put my my book up there so I can see what's going on. So I've just noticed I've got a lot of shadowing. Hang on a minute. I put the light on, and I think it is probably better with just the lamp, not the light, then you don't get all the hand shadows across everything. But you do get this shine on the on the cover, but I can't win. The sun's shining on the desk, the blind is shut, so I'm doing the best I can. Now I think this is probably my favourite picture of the month, to be honest. You can see the silver pen shining, but if I do it that, you can see the rest of the page a bit better. So this is from Hannah Carlson's Tales from the Witch's Cottage. I'm working through this book in order, so next month it'll be a double cap page. But for this I used Castle Arts Gold for the pencil, but there isn't a lot of pencil. The background here is in a metallic pen. I'm just trying to see what it is. I haven't written down what it is, so some sort of metallic pen. I suspect it's a Sakura. The background is done with blue pastels, and there are little white dots on the background, which I don't know how clear it is in the distance. I saw someone else doing that and I thought it looked really nice, like paint splatters, but all I did was used a little gel pen. But I have got a video coming up where I show you how to do a background like this, so you can learn if you want to, or see how I did it. It's much easier than it looks. Well, I think so anyway. So that's Witch's Cottage. Now with my Hannah books, I've got so many that I tend to just do one a month from each book, you know, they're such beautiful books and it's hard to choose which book to colour from, so I just think, well, I do one from each and then maybe two. So this book I've done two from this month. This first one was done using Arteza Expert pencil. As you can see, I didn't worry with the background here, I just did this. I felt the white framed our picture quite well. There's some metallic pen dots, I think, or blue. I don't know if it's metallic. Turn it to the light. I don't know. It says some blue pen dots. Might just be a blue Posca. It doesn't actually say on my notes. And this one I did, it was a buddy colour. I know a lot of people have been doing this one on Instagram. When my friend suggested doing this one, I was really pleased because I'd seen it done so many times. Now this is mainly done with Pablo pencils, which I got new this month and I absolutely adore them. So that was it was so easy. Normally with new pencils it takes me a little while to get used to them, but with those, just straight away I could use them. But the background, there are pastels, soft pastels, both around the outside and inside this part, and I've done some dotting with Posca pens, but it's hard to see. There's yellow dots in this bit and there's gold dots in this bit, but I don't know if it's gonna shine. The Pablos are quite shiny, so I don't know. So that was that one. So yeah, two from that book. Now City Among the Stars, I only did one in here, and I used a colour cube card. These are the Sarah Renee Clark colour cube cards. And what I decided, I would do a picture from the book with a card. I grabbed a card and then I chose a picture, and I thought these colours went well with this picture. Now these pinks, I don't have many of these, particularly that one, so I used Prismacolor because I felt that there's a colour in Prismacolor that's that colour, I can't remember, rosy beige or something, I'm not sure. Anyway, it seemed to have the colours that would match. In the background there are some soft pastels with a cloud stencil in pink and blue and grey. So I just did a few bits and pieces there just to, some of it looks a little bit dirty rather than skylight, but anyway. There we go. I like these colours. I felt it was a sort of Victorian style balloon, and I wanted something more muted, so I think it worked well. So that was that one. Then we have Midnight Masquerade. Doing all the smaller size books first, put them on the top of the pile. This one, I was practicing my skin tone with my new Black Widow skin tone pencils. It was sort of, it wasn't my first time of using them, but I'm quite new to them. So I was a little bit, not too confident, but I was pleased with how it came out. And I did the gold and orange. I always think come out really well together. And actually the gold I made using the skin tone pencils as well, but I obviously not the orange, I don't think. Did I say? No, I just put Black Widow. I think the orange was from a different set. There is an orange in the skin tone, but I don't think it was that one. But and there's some white pen. I find the lines that Hannah draws in the hair, I don't like them, so I sort of went over them a little bit and then tried to colour over them. There's a little bit hidden. It's not it could be better, but you know. I've actually done another face picture using a tutorial from a book yesterday actually, and I'll show you that in a minute. I was really pleased with that one. This one though isn't a face. This one is a bird with a crown. You may have seen this if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook. I put my completed pictures up on there, and this one has gone up already. I did this during the coronation of our king, so I wanted to pick a couple of sort of crown based pictures just to sort of tie in with the theme. This one was done with polychromos, and again, no background. I felt the frame was just okay without one, and you know, obviously there's a background in there anyway. Oops. And then I did another crowned one during the coronation. It's a long coronation, it's about 6 hours. So this one was also done with polychromos, but the background there, you can see I did some soft pastels and tried to keep it nice and warm colours there in the sky or background there. And there's a bit of a shiny purple pen, like purple I think is always a very regal colour. Apparently purple dye was the most expensive, so only the wealthiest people would have them. So putting purple into the crowns and things I felt was good. Now we have jewellery box. I only did a simple one from here this time. I'd been fancying doing this little charm bracelet, and I used Castle Arts metallics for everything, but they're not very shiny. You can see it is really shiny. Hopefully you can see it's catching the light. What I did was I glazed over the charms, not the actual bracelet, with a glitter pen, the Sakura one that's just plain so you can see through it. So I did that so it's a bit more shiny. So I think sparkly shine is sometimes absolutely necessary. Now, Grains of Gold is Hannah's compilation book. It says here 83 favourites and 11 new drawings. Now the one I did is from Spirit Animals, and I'd already done this lady, and so I wanted to get this Lima done before I forgot what pencils I used, because I wanted to match it up. I didn't match it up perfectly, but I think it's near enough. So these were Derwent Light Fast pencils. So I wanted to match up the berries to be the same. And this colour I wanted to match in the scarf, but I've used the wrong one. But, you know, it's fine. I was okay with it. And then Lima was a lot of fun. And because Derwent leave a lot of white paper showing through when you use them, it's just something I've noticed. It worked quite well for the fur because the white looks like it might just be fluffy bits. So that was quite useful. Now we have Magical Dawn, and in Magical Dawn I did a fish. I was trying out my new Brute Funa metallic pencils. You can see there's a bit of a shine there. So that was, but on the edges of the scales where these loopy bits are, that's actually a Sakura glitter pen, and the bubbles are glitter pen, and obviously there's a background there which I did with soft pastels. Nothing too technical, just you know, swish it on, and there we go. I always feel somehow that Hannah Carlson pictures need backgrounds. They usually do when you see them, but this one I didn't put one on. Have we got enough room to get it in shot? Yes. So this is spirit animals, so they need to match, is my thought. Husband said, there's no hens that look like that. And I was like, well, not quite. I mean, the feathers are usually quite black, but I rather like the green that I saw in some of the photos that I looked at, the roosters. So I sort of put probably too much green in the feathers. The hen itself is a little bit dark, I think, feather-wise. It probably should have a few more golden ones, but I matched that to her hair and matched all the gemstones. I just thought it was fun to match it all up together. And her skin tone is a little bit pink. I think I was saying to my children, my skin is pink. I always think it's pink. And they were going, no, Mum, it's not. It's apricot-y peach colour. I was like, okay. So maybe I didn't quite do that right, but I used polychromos for that, and I used the polychromo skin tone pencils, well, the sort of flesh like flesh and things, so they're probably a bit pink. But anyway, I'm still learning my skin tones, so that's fine. I'm fine with that. I'm making progress, and that's the important thing for me, and enjoying it, of course. Now this is the skin tone picture. Hang on, I can't move my books along. Hang on, let's move it along like that. There we go. That I did using a tutorial. This was from a Helen Elliston book, and her tutorial was in Prismacolor, so that's what I used. Interestingly, it was like peach and beige, sienna, brown ochre, those sorts of colours. There's some French grey in there, there's some black in there. So you can see the black and the French grey is the shadow. So that was interesting, and I learnt a lot actually. And I also whited out the outline. It's not completely whited out, which is fine with me. And with the hair, I said earlier I don't like the way I'll find one. There aren't many people in this book. I'm not keen on the way the hair has lines in it. Here we go. You've got these sort of lines. So I whited them out on mine, but I did it quite early on, so then I covered it with lots of things. I used lots of different colours in the hair. I started with a sort of sienna, the darkest one I used on the skin, and then I went darker and used sepias and brown, umber and things like that, and all sorts of different colours. And then I even used a very thin Prisma pencil to do some strokes to make it look stripy, but a lot of the lines are the white paper showing through, but that was okay. I was quite happy with that sort of look to the hair. And of course I did a lot of gold on here. It's quite daunting, but actually it didn't take as long as I thought it would. The background was really straightforward. I used some yellow soft pastels, and they were quite splodgy, so I made it more splodgy with some darker colour, sort of brownish yellow, and then it sort of matched. It looked intentional. The stars in the background are done with a Sakura metallic pen. I would have preferred them to have been more intensely red, but there isn't a really intense red in that set. But they still add some sort of magic and sparkle to the picture, which is rather what I think is required. Also, with the body, with their bodies here, I think it was drawn so that they weren't wearing clothes here, and it was just part of their sort of top of their neck. But I felt that I wanted them to have some clothes on, just to add another colour into the picture. So I actually drew in this sort of arm here. It was really, really simple. My son said to me, it looks a bit odd the way the hair's making the edge of the clothes, and I thought, well, I hadn't quite decided whether I was going to do it like that or not, you know, whether to draw one in or not, but I think it sort of works. So that's how I did that one, getting a bit more confident in my people, which is good. Okay, we're now going to move on to Johanna Basford. Now, I've been doing her planner page every week in a video, so you may have already seen all of these. Whoops. but I'll just talk you through them just in case you haven't, just quite quickly. I used Castle Arts pastel tint for the flowers on this page, and then just use some soft pastel for the background on that one. And it looks to me like the watering can's got glitter all over it, but I didn't write that down. Then for this one, come a little bit closer. I can't get central because there's a pile of books in the way. There we go. I used Castle Arts Gold for these. And then this one I used my Brute Funa metallic pencils. You can see there's a bit of shine on them. I actually tested them out on this page, so it was a bit of a different sort of video. Now this one I used Polycolour pencils. And then the last one here, I used Arteza Expert pencils, but a lot of it is the background, which I used my Mungio soft pastels for, and some glittery pens for the stars and things. But it's all in the tutorial how to do that. So I like the warm colour. Oops, I'm just trying to shut the book. There we go. Now, Miniature Enchanted Forest was a book that I finished this month. There weren't loads of pictures that I did this month though. I'd done quite most of them already. So this one here, I think I did this one with just some Tombow Erogeton pencil. It was just all the same colour. It was very simple. I just felt it needed to be done, even though I didn't do the end cover. I felt I wanted to do that bit. Now I did this one. So this is obviously our treehouse picture, but I wanted to keep it really simple. I found it quite daunting because it was so small and detailed. So I simply, where have I written it? Yes, I used coarse pencils, which can sharpen to a nice fine point. And then there's some green pastel in the background to try and make it look like we're looking through into trees. I don't know how effective that, whether it gives that impression, but I think it just finishes it off. Now this one again was really daunting with all the leaves, so I kept it quick and simple by making them all the same. I used I used Castle Arts soft touch pencils for this. But this green in the background of the leaves and the yellow, that's soft pastels, just to give it a background. And then this was the last one I did. Well, I don't know if I did it last, but this is the last one to show you from this book. You can see it's quite pale. That's because I used Staedtler Norris pencils. I haven't used my Norris for ages, and I thought I'd just have a go. But as you can see, they're a real pale pencil. But you know, if you want a pale look to your picture, that's fine. Or you can, of course, layer and layer and layer and get them a little bit darker. But I just wanted to have a go. Right, now we have Rooms of Wonder. I'm going to come out a little because we're not all in shot. You'll see the edge of my pile of books. Now, this is a book that I'm hoping to finish, actually, in June. I've done a fair bit from it this month. Some of it in videos. This page was a video set. Well, it went across quite a few months actually, from April, because there's 50 images there, so one per video. So if there are any you fancy having a go at, you can go and find that video or do them all or whatever. My favourite, I have to say, is the picnic basket. I like the bonsai tree and the hat. I don't know why. And the marbles as well. Now these were done, sorry, with Staedtler Design Journey pencils. Now I did this room here. This is our sewing room. Now I decided to sort of match it in-ish with this one. I didn't use the same, well, I don't know what pencils I used for this. It was actually, that one was actually a video a long time ago, so I could have looked it up, but I didn't. I sort of thought I'd match colours reasonably similarly. I used Tombow Erogeton pencils, and I try to keep certain things the same. So all the ribbons and fabrics are the same colour, all the furniture is the same colour, all the pots are the same colour, all the cotton is the same colour, and it just made it a lot less daunting, because to be honest, this sort of busy page I find quite difficult to do. And there's no background. I had thought about it and then I didn't know what I could do that would work, so I didn't do one. Now this page Oops, took quite a while. There we go. And again, no background because I just didn't know what to do. There's such a big range of colour here that I just wouldn't have any idea what colour background to do, so I didn't do one. I've seen people doing brickwork, all sorts of amazing things, but yeah, I didn't. So this one has been done. I'm just trying to have a look, find it. Oh, there it is, shelves, Pablo pencils. Yes, I was trying out my new Pablos, so it was a good page because there's so many different items and different colours to do. Then it meant I could try out all the different colours, so that was that's good. Now this one here I did with 3 colour cube cards. I will show you. This one was the top one, number 85. I used Staedtler. Which Staedtlers did I use? Hang on. Office 3. Oh, I used Ergosoft. There's that floor and there's that floor. So it was quite interesting doing these greys. We don't have the sort of browny greys in the Ergo, so I just used all the greys that I had. So there's some more cold greys than warm greys. But I feel this looks a bit like maybe the lights are off and it's the end of the day. I mean, there's no one in any of them, so they are. It's quite pink, isn't it? Which one would you prefer to work in? I think, no. I don't like the look of the grey bananas. I don't know. I think blues and greens may be a little more restful. But that was just something to try because colouring office things is not really something that I got too excited about. So I thought if I added in a colour cube card, then it would make it more exciting for me, which it did. Now this one was quite a mammoth task. I used my Ergosoft for this one, and yeah, there's so many different random items. I find these sorts of pages a little bit daunting when they're so small and there's so many. I think Johanna's next book might be a bit like this, I don't know, but we'll see. But someone asked me to do a buddy colour and she suggested a circle page in here that I'd already done, so I suggested this one and she was like, and I was like, I know, I need to have some, you know, to do it, and I need sort of help, so, you know, so we both did this one. Now this one I used my Tombow Erogeton pencils. I used quite a few of the paler shades, so it looks a little bit less. But I used some neons here, and I think it was a bit of a... having a few dark things here and everything else pale, I think was a mistake. But anyway, it was all learning. They're new pencils to me, so I'm still learning about combining the different colours. But, you know, it's looks like a tasty enough cake. Now this double page, you may have seen again, I put these on my Facebook and Instagram pages. So I did one of them and then I decided to make the other one match. They're using Ergosoft pencils, excuse me, because of the small details. And the metal, the gold was quite orangey, but I thought actually they're brass instruments, not gold instruments. So hopefully it sort of works. I used quite a limited colour palette because I found some of it a bit daunting. It's not something that I've coloured before, so, you know, but I was quite pleased with how it came out, so that was good. So that's that one. Oh, we've got a little postcard now. I coloured, I did a flip through of Johanna's Rooms of Wonder postcards and coloured this little snail in the flip through with Ergosofts, and then I did the butterfly myself a bit later on with Ergosofts as well. So there is our little postcard that I've done. They're quite small, which is good because they fit in envelopes. I would never post a coloured postcard out without being in an envelope, and some of the postcards I've got are too big to fit in the envelopes I have. Okay, so now we're on to Ivy. I did one picture in here. This is Ivy. I tested out some skin tone. I think I used my Black Widows. I'm just checking. Yeah, so I showed you how to do this sort of face and then I just finished the rest myself. But this post-it is here because I'm going to do this facing page in the same pencil, so I wrote it all down. But I haven't done it yet. I might do it this month. But I don't usually use post-its in my book because of the glue. but I used it here because it's on top of the story bit that I won't be colouring on, but I'm still not sure whether it was a very sensible idea. But anyway, that's Ivy. My book's getting really battered and I've hardly coloured any in it. I need to do a bit more, but I'm sure I will. Now this is my calendar, my Secret Garden 20, no, is it Secret Garden? Yeah, Secret Garden 2018 calendar. This is the May page that I coloured. I really enjoyed colouring these little sheds. The other things are a little bit small, but I usually do these as blackberries, but I did them as raspberries for a change. I don't know why, but that's okay. And I used Arteza premium pencils. Maybe there wasn't quite the right colour. I'm not sure. But anyway, that's that one. The small details are quite tricky. You would think on a calendar, because it's a bit bigger, it would be quite easy, but I still found some of these a bit tricky. But there was that one, getting through my calendar, which is my gold, one of my things to finish for the year. Right, now we are moving on to, oh, we have the Lego page. Johanna gave us a free download of this page. I printed it on this really dark paper and I'm still learning to use it, so I'm not sure I was almightily impressed with my effort. This is Derwent branded paper, so I used Derwent pencils on it, a mixture of different Derwent pencils, I think. I'm just checking. Yeah. So, and white pen. But as I say, I'm still getting used to using the toned paper, so I wasn't hugely impressed. And Derwent can be quite difficult to work with because you see a lot of tooth through. Obviously you can use their blender to help with that. But I thought maybe with the paper it might be better, but it wasn't. But yeah, I think they're really designed for lots of layering. Okay, let's move on to Rita Berman. This is her Asian book. I did a buddy colour in here, which you may have seen on my Instagram page, and it was this peacock. And I used polycolour pencils. Now polycolours I find are quite bright. You can see that it's quite a nice bright vibrant colour, but I find that you can only put down 3 or 4 layers and then that seems to be it. So it depends what you're looking for really, but I do really like them. But you know, different pencils work for different pictures and different ideas. So it depends what, as I say, it depends what you're looking for. Okay, now we have this book. Now this book I finished this month, so I've done a flip through already. You may have seen the completed one, so you would have seen these pictures that I've done this month already, but I can tell you what pencils I used, which might be useful. This is Castle Art Soft Touch pencils, and I sort of tried to do a bit of a rainbow and did some gold and things like that. Now the pictures that I've got, that I had left, were all the ones that I found daunting. It wasn't that I didn't like them, it was that they had a lot of detail going on and I wasn't really sure what to do with them. And I think that's slightly reflected in when I show you them, you'll go, So this one was done with Prismas. It says, I don't think that looks like Prismas, but anyway, maybe it was. This double page, look at that, my husband painted that, I like that. He's lent me these, I might have to keep that one. I shall steal it. This one is the, oh, I haven't got up. Is it across the page? I haven't written that one down. Oh, there it is. Castle Art Soft Touch again. Yeah, because I wanted a big selection of greens. There's a lot of greenery going on. So we can come in a little bit, can't we? Now this one we have, I did it as a double. I wasn't really sure. The water seemed to be a double, but then some of it went up here and it splashed across the page, so, you know. But this one was coloured with Ergosoft. Then we have the wild boar picture. I coloured that with Derwent pencils. And this one was Tombow Erogeton pencils. Apart from the background, which is a bit of soft pastel. It went all over the clouds and I erased it off. Now this one again has got soft pastel background, very odd looking cloud shape going on here. But the main part of the page was coloured with, it doesn't say. I'm having a look. There's lots of very pretty greens. No idea. I'm thinking maybe it's polycolour, but I don't know. So there we go. These were done with my Derwents. I didn't know what to do with this page, so I did a sort of rainbow, but we've ended up with a lot of autumnal look over here, and then lots of mad weird colours over here. There we go. But this, as I say, this book is finished. There is a flip through of the whole thing on my channel if you want to see. There are some much nicer pictures than those in it. Right, on to Millie Marotta. And now Millie's books, I find the paper very smooth, and I'm still trying to work out what pencils work best on it. These were, let's turn the page. These were done with Castle Arts metallic pencils, and they weren't too bad. I find getting a nice even, like I'm trying to fade, I find that really difficult on this paper to get it really even. I don't know why, whether it's me or not, but it was okay. I'm trying to find somewhere to put my books. I'm going to have to put them on the floor. But this one I found better. This squid I coloured with polycolour. Actually, it doesn't look very neat either. I think I did one with Prismas last month, and that was a lot better. So I might try a few more Prisma ones. That might be, they might be better. I'm just determined to find a pencil that works well, because I've seen some really beautiful work in her books, but I don't know what people use. If you use something that works really well, tell me, please. Right, well, on to Maria Trolle. I got a lot of new Maria Trolle books this month. I was gifted them, which from France's. So I've done quite a few different books. This one was done as part of the flip through, and I used polycolour pencils for this, and some shiny pen for the bubbles. And then Twilight Garden, this was a book I already have, actually my parents gave me this. And I did this owl as a tutorial. You can find that on my channel now. This page I was asked about as well. There is a tutorial for this, not for the whole thing, but for a little section, because it repeats. So there's a tutorial for a little bit of that as well if you want it. But they happen to match. That wasn't my intention, but because we've got acorns and things, it just felt like oranges and things, the colours would just work. So it's a bit autumnal for this time of year, but that's okay. I like autumn colours. Okay, so Nightfall was another new one. Whoops. And I did this one on the black paper. So this one was coloured with Castle Arts. I used the Monet set because I didn't need many colours. And there is a bit of gold metallic pen on that background bit as well to shine. So that was that one. That is a video. There was a flip through, and that was the page I chose, so I've done a little bit of it on the video. And another new book, Flora, and in this one, whoops, actually it was a new book last month, I think. So this for this page I did a tutorial for these two, but there's also a tutorial for the bee and the background. You know, I said right on the very first picture that I would show you how to do the blue background with the white dots. This is the page where I demoed that. So there's a video already out showing you that. So that's that one. And the last Maria Trolle is Botanicum. Well, she does have another book. This is the last one I did. Now, I did this as a buddy colour, and Michelle chose both pages to do, and I decided to do them as a sort of double. Not completely, but the background you could see sort of works across both. And I thought I would use the same colours in each. These flower here, I saw some of them this morning by the canal path, and they were beautiful. They were pink. But so that colour there is in the butterfly there. and the reds are the same, and the pink is the same, and things like that. So I tried to use the same colours across as far as I could. I couldn't do it for everything, but and our robin's eggs are very bright. Robin's eggs are that colour. They are. Look it up, Google it, and then prove me wrong. So that was that, and I used Arteza Premium pencils for that. It had all the colours that I wanted. Again, that's a slightly older book. I haven't done much in it though. Okay, we have Circle of Life. Now this is, what did I do in this one? I'm trying to find it on my list. I just got distracted by the beeping that's going on downstairs and the time, it's got so late. So I used Arteza Premium for our snail, and then used some yellow pastel behind him. I just felt he needed a little bit of something. That was, I don't know why I chose yellow, but it worked well. And I did one from Lottie Ford's book, Colour the Forest. I think this was a tutorial actually, or part of it was. I think it looks like polycolour to me. No, it's Castle Art soft touch pencils, not polycolour at all. Then Microscopic Marvels. I did a double page in here using my magic pencils, the Koh-i-Noor pencils. I felt that these sorts of things were quite good for doing a sort of mixed colour. Hang on, I will come out a little bit so you can see. So I was just basically trying out, working through the tin, trying out all the different colours. And and I did these in just blues. So it was just trying out my new pencils really, which is always exciting, as I'm sure you know. Now we have a small book. This was a gift this month too, and you may have seen my I started this bit in a when I did my flip through and I finished the page. You may have seen it already, but I haven't done any more in there yet, but I'm looking forward to doing more. The paper is gorgeous, and I've got another book in the series which I did one from this month too. Again, the same gorgeous paper. That last one was done in polycolour, and this one was done in polycolour as well. So that was that one. It was all pencil, even the background, but it just went on so smoothly. There's a little bit, actually I say it's all pencil, there's a bit of rain in metallic pen there. So apart from that. Okay, now we have, whoops. Ruby Charms colour. Now this is the swatch book, but on this page where I swatched my new Tombow pencils, I made a bit of a mess here by testing them out, but I did coloured in the little fox. Yeah, I did a bit of a blend there, and yeah, I was putting them in colour order in my pencil case and I put together a chart actually of them in what I felt was a sensible colour order, but mixing up all of these different sets. So that's available on my Ko-fi shop. If you are interested in grabbing that, it's free. So you can just download. It does ask you for a donation, but you can just put 0. So you can grab that. The link to the Ko-fi shop is usually in my video description. Might not be in this one because I was run out of space, because you're limited word-wise on video descriptions, and so sometimes I have to knock out some of the stuff like links to my social media. So this one I was really pleased with. This was my very first picture with Pablo pencils, and it is from Beautiful Planet by Leela Dooley, which I was sent by the publisher for free. This is a very generous, and the only bit that isn't, there's a bit of white pen on the wings of the insects, but that's all. Some of what I've done on the wings is I've drawn in the missing bit of flower that I felt might have been underneath it to make them look more see-through. So that was quite interesting. But that's that one. Right, got another Leela Dooley The Flower Year that I do every month, and I picked a really small picture this month, which was this one. This was done with, I did it with Tombow Erogeton pencils. Now it's actually hawthorn. Now hawthorn is beautiful, it's usually white, but it does come in a pink, so I did that pink because I'm not very good at colouring in white. Now we have Lulu Mayo, and I did this satchel. Again, I used my Tombow Erogeton pencils, playing around with my new ones, but the background is a soft pastel with the white little dots. Got into my white dots. Then we have another Lulu book, my other Lulu book I should say, and this one was done with metallic pencils. I used my 50 Brute Funa, my new ones, for that, and there's a bit of white gel pen and things on there as well. Right, then I did a couple of pictures from Matchstick Mouse. Now I have two copies of this. One of them I'm copying Morgan O'Brien's versions of the pictures, and one of them I'm doing my own. I didn't copy any of his this month. I'm miles behind, he's got quite a few. But anyway, this was my own. This one I did with Pablo pencils, which I wanted to see how they work on the Amazon paper, and they're just beautiful. And then this one I did with Polycolour, which always work really well in these books, I find. So that was Matchstick Mouse. Now I had this download from Agota Pop. She sent me this for free. You can buy it from her Etsy shop. I'll try and put a link in. And I'd done this particular picture on a video when I was sort of showing you her pictures. And I finished this off with my Tombow pencils because this is a really smooth paper, and I thought they would go down quite well, and I think they did. And then she also sent me her newest pictures, which are all butterflies, and I just did this one. This is only on copy paper, and I think it looks like I used, yes, Polycolours. They didn't go down too well on this copy paper. They like a bit of tooth. Now we have a small flowers colouring book, and this one, they're quite simple drawings in here, but I grabbed my Polycolours and layered them up a little bit. It's Amazon paper, so a bit more tooth, so they liked it, and I did that one. Oh, trying to work out where to put all the books. This one I did a couple from here. I was using up some gel pens, and this one I was trying out. I've got some Kohinoor highlighter pens. They're bright, aren't they? I was just trying those out. Just a bit of a chilled colour, really. And this book as well I tend to use for trying things out, or just, you know, something a bit simpler. So this one was done using actually felt tip pens, which the grey's running out. I can see that. I think it's run out completely now. And then this one I used my Brute Funa metallics, and I just picked a couple. You can see they're shiny, and just wanted to play with those really. So that was those two. And now we've mainly got mandalas left. We're on to the home straight. So this is a Colour mandalas book that they sent me to review, and it doesn't even fit in short. We might, but I did this one with pen because with felt pen, because I know that people might want to know how pens go down on this paper. It's really thick and smooth. Bit of a problem with the pen. It's dried now, but it didn't dry very quickly, so I smudged it. And normally with felt tip pen, it dries so quickly, water-based marker, that you don't ever smudge it, but it did. So it goes on fine, but you have to be aware that it might smudge. Now this one I did using my magic pencils, which was, I was just playing and trying them out. I want to play with them more. They're really interesting because they change colour, so that's good. And then I did this one where I tried out my Tombow Erogeton new pencils on this page. I think mandala pages are always good for trying out pencils. So that is that book. Oh, I'm just trying to, that's it, organise it. Now Colouring Heaven Patterns, I just did something really simple in here with a marker, water-based pens. I was actually trying to use up my pens because I'm sort of, everything's taking up space and they're nearly run out, so I thought I would just run them out. They nearly are all run out now. I can't use them in this book. It's double-sided and the paper's really thin. It's Amazon paper. So I used my Brute Funa Metallics on that one. They aren't particularly shiny, a little bit. That was that one. Now this was a new book that I got. There is a flip through coming, and for the flip through I start colouring this page, which is the very first one, with Brute Funa metallic pencils. You can see how shiny they are. So you can see a bit of that. I didn't complete it in the video. I also had a go at this one with a colour cube card. It's a bit of the grey, bit of an odd colour mix, but yeah, it takes you out of your comfort zone. Oh, and this one I've started. I'm trying something different with the black, but no, you'll see that next time. I'll finish that today, I hope. 101 Mandalas. This is again by Camelia Andukova. I think that is that. But I think it looks like I was just used lots of pens, so I'm really unsure whether that started out being that card and I just got a bit carried away, or what happened really with that one. Then, oops, then this one. This is done like that one was, with Castle Art gel pens. Again, sort of trying to use them up before they dry out, because I know gel pens will dry out. I've had them quite a while. I wanted something a bit regal, so that was all patriotic really. But that is gel pens. This is felt tip pens. This is felt tip pens. This one isn't though. This is a these are metallic pens. I'm just trying to see which brand they are. They're the Brute Funa, but the 12 set. This again, triplus felt pens. Those are gel pens. And this one was done with Posca. So that's those. And we have one last book, which I have finished, and I am going to do a flip through of the book soon. Oops, but we'll start here. I think that was that. I think. Okay, that was gel pens. My gel pens are Castle Arts, by the way. This one was done with the 50 metallic Brute Funa pencils. I reckon I used a colour cube card for that, because I don't know if I would have done that colour scheme myself, but it's pretty. Water-based markers, water-based markers, water-based markers. Magic pencils. This one is, I'm thinking they're metallic. Brute Funa metallic. Nope. Look at that. Gorgeous colours. Polycolour. Arteza Premium. Would you put purple with browns and orange? No, it works, doesn't it? Bambino crayons. Arteza Expert. Holbein Pastel. Water-based markers. Water-based markers. Staedtler metallic pens. And my last 3 gel pens. I hadn't run out. I was like, oh, they're gonna last. But there we go. They're all my completed pages. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day and happy colouring.